Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Physicswallah Limited Q3 FY2026 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. Joining us today to discuss earnings for the third quarter and 9 months ended 31st December 2025 are Mr. Pratik Boob, Whole-time Director, and Mr. Amit Sachdeva, CFO. The results and shareholder letters that have been uploaded to the stock exchanges are available on the company's investor relations website. Before we begin, I would like to remind you that certain statements made on this call may be forward-looking in nature and should be viewed in conjunction with the risk factors disclosed in the company's filing. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Pratik Boob from Physicswallah Limited. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Pratik.
Hello everyone, Pratik Boob this side. A very warm welcome to all participants here. I would like to brief journey introduction about Physicswallah. A lot of attendees on these calls might be new. So Physicswallah started as a YouTube channel back in 2016 by Alak sir. Until 2020 it became India's largest YouTube channel, and that's where our monetization journey started. So company formation happened in 2020 with a very unique business model where we are teaching for everything for free on internet across now 250 YouTube channels. So that gives us a very strong social media presence, and that gives us a very strong top of the funnel. The model is very unique in nature where we teach for free on internet and we launch our scheduled live classes batches on our mobile application for various exam categories. Currently now covering 40 plus exam categories, right from JEE entrance exams, needed entrance exams to UPSC level. So this is our brief journey. The model is quite unique in nature where we call it as a zero CAC model. Essentially, we teach for free on internet, and that's how we get traffic on our mobile application. Currently having 3.4 million daily active users on our mobile app, and getting engaged for 106 minutes on a daily average basis. So this is a quick brief journey introduction. Back in 2022, we started our offline learning centers as well. Currently operating more than 300 offline learning centers. Our offline model is also quite unique in its nature. It's tech-enabled offline learning centers which we have expanded. This is essentially to cater a certain section of the students who are distracted in online mode of learning, and their learning outcomes are better in offline mode of learning. Our offline is just part of our online flywheel, where 93% of the audience are studying in online mode of learning. 7% of our total learner base comes in our offline mode of learning. So wherever we became number one in terms of number of students, we start our offline learning centers as well. So this is a brief journey and a model explanation. Along with that, we have created a great innovative culture in the company. If you ever get a chance to come to Noida, I would love to host you. There are a lot of entrepreneurial energy on the floor and a lot of innovation which is happening at this point of time. Company stands for a vision on a mission that we want to make education affordable for every Indian household. Highest quality education should either be free or it should be affordable. That is the vision which we are carrying. And along with that, we want to become a lifelong learning partner of the students. This is something, a motto which all of us are living here. And thank you so much for your continued support and showing trust on us. Together we are creating a great impact. The students who had never access to good quality structured learning are now able to crack JEE, NEET, UPSC kind of world's largest and toughest examination. And we are empowering India, which was underserved, and now it is creating the equal access and opportunity to students out there. Thank you so much. Handing over to Amit.
Thank you, Prateek sir. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for taking the time out to join the Q3 earnings call for Physicswallah. We are overall very happy with the strong Q3 quarter results and believe that the education opportunity in India remains significant. I'll take a few minutes just emphasizing the results that we have published. Overall, revenue growth remained robust in Q3 FY2026, with total revenue from operations reaching to 1,082 crores, 34% revenue increase year-over-year. Pre-Ind AS EBITDA of 218 crores, translating to 20.2% margin. PAT of 102 crores, equivalent of 9%. And this is in spite of the 23 crores of one-time expense that we booked in this quarter related to the changes in the labor code and IPO expenses, which we just concluded on 18th of November. In terms of the overall performance for 9 months, we are happy to report that the growth came really strong in the overall 9 months performance as well. Revenue was clocked at 2,980 crores, 31% year-over-year increase, and surpassed the full year revenue of last year of 2,886 crores. Pre-Ind AS EBITDA was closed at 291 crores against 233 crores for last year. And for the full year, in terms of full year 9 months, we closed at a PAT of 45 crores, even in spite of the one-time adjustments of 37 crores for the 9 months. In terms of our breakup of our online and offline segment, our online segment grew at now contributes almost like 51% and grew at 31% year-over-year. Offline grew 26% year-over-year at 46%. The proportion of offline is now at 46%, and others contribute 3%. Like we mentioned in the last earnings call as well, our playbook is to build communities and continue to increase our share of overall online revenue. That is the focus, for us going forward, and I'll talk about some of the new categories that we are building in the online segment that will help us get to a higher share in the online segment. In terms of the overall cost initiatives, the direct cost gave us a leverage of almost like 2.8% year-over-year, obviously due to all the cost reduction initiatives that we ran, especially around the consultants and the professional fees. Our employee costs were higher, including the ESOP expenses. So our ESOP expenses now are at 125 crores for 9 months against the 73 for last year, largely due to the valuation impact on the new ESOPs that we issued. And secondly, in terms of the new categories that we are now starting to invest, which I will talk about in detail, in the latter half of the call. Also, like we mentioned last quarter, I think our marketing spend, the pattern of marketing spend was changed, where we took a very conscious call of spending higher in the initial, quarters rather than spreading it across over the year, which was the case in the last financial year. And hence, we see significant leverage of those marketing spends to come, both in this quarter and the next quarter. Our marketing spends dropped by almost like 20 crores in this quarter, and we expect a significant, synergies coming in from the Q4 of last year to Q4 of this year. Moving on, in terms of our treasury now stands at 5,000 crores, post our IPO of 3,100 crores, which was the fresh issue that we did. We generated almost 600 crores from cash flow from operations in the first 9 months. In terms of our capital allocation, like we have put in the shareholder letter, we will be allocating cash and capital on four key areas. The first is the offline expansion, like we put it in the use of proceeds on the RHP. We will continue to invest in opening centers. We are looking at 70 centers next year with an outlay of 200 crores. Inorganic opportunities, as and when the inorganic opportunities arise, we will continue to invest into that. There is a certain amount that we've raised as GCP and M&A, unannounced M&A as part of our IPO proceeds. And as and when such opportunity arises, we're going to look at it. Third is focused investments in K-12 platform. As you would have seen, we actually acquired Tenderheart, and we are now partnering with Tenderheart, and we find ourselves in a very leading position to now create a quality K-12 platform. We'll again talk about this in detail. Some of these opportunities will keep on arising, and we will allocate capital as part of the next year's planning exercise. As of now, we have invested 400 crores in our wholly owned company to drive some of that K-12 platform investments that we will do. And the last one is AI. I think this is an ongoing investment both in terms of people as well as the new products that we will be developing on. We'll talk about PW Talks, we'll talk about Gyani and some of the other AI initiatives that we have listed in the shareholder letter as well. And we see a significant leverage coming in from this one as well. Like I earlier said, there's a renewed focus on schools and K-12 platform. Our existing K-12 platform currently supports 3 schools, and this is outside the SIP program that we run under the Vidyapeeth program, which now almost touches 25,000 to 30,000 kids out there. So this will be in addition to that. And the overall, I think our idea coming in from the K-12 platform will be to teach at least 10 to 11,000 kids from a K-12 platform perspective. The central teams are now within PW starting to work and standardize and streamline operations and academics and all synergies associated with the respective K-12 platform. Moving on to the performance of our acquisitions, we are extremely bullish about the Sarthi partnership and acquisition that we did last quarter in UPSC practice. On like-to-like basis, Sarthi doubled its revenue for 9 months for this year as compared to last year. This quarter, Sarthi reported revenues of 22 crores and EBITDA of 15 crores. This is what we consolidated in our books. And we can now surely say that our overall UPSC practice is now the market leader in terms of the overall, all our competition as well. Utkarsh classes had a great year in reimagining the entire state exams business. They reported 6% pre-Ind AS EBITDA against a negative for last year, and we will see significant amount of cost leverage continue to come in that business. Also in Xylem, our test prep business in Kerala, that has been growing this year. They will close the year at roughly around 330 to 340 crores of revenue top line. When we bought the acquisition, I think they were 90 crores in top line. We opened 13 new centers in Xylem, supplementing our vernacular reach in southern states, and we see that helping us to build our vision of a formidable player in the southern part of India as well. Like I said on the AI initiative, I think it's been mentioned in question 10 of the shareholders letter in a very detailed and succulent way. We find ourselves significantly ahead of the AI initiatives at PW. Most of us would have seen the recent announcements about Gemini entering into mock testing, and that actually validates our investments that we did in Aryabhatta. We had done a detailed press release around Aryabhatta as well. And we now, consciously are investing in AI tech talent. Our overall tech spends, because of the scale that we have grown last year, we see almost like a percentage leverage on the tech spends, in spite of our AI pod cost of the tech and product team going up by 40% from last year. There are 3 additional categories now this time we have reported. So we used to report 13 categories, but now we had 3 new categories that crossed the annual collections of 10 crores. That is CLAT, NEET PG and IIT JAM. These three categories put together this year for the first 9 months have contributed 32 crores, and we will continue to invest in these new categories to actually build, to get them to the goodness that we've seen in our earlier categories. The second category that we wanted to talk about today are state boards. There are almost like 6 crore kids studying in state board exams across India. And this vertical was launched in June 25, and we have scaled to 175,000 paid learners with a revenue of 22 crores for the first 9 months. I think we've talked about this in the last earnings call as well. And what we feel is this is going to be the category that will actually give us the goodness of, the JEE Needs scale, math scale that we have seen in those categories, the early categories. While we started with 5 or 6 states, you will see a roadmap of, the next states that we are going into as part of the shareholder letter. The third key category, online expansion that we are seeing is on the vernacular side. We started batches in 5 regional languages and enrolled 94,000 paid students in the first 9 months with a revenue of 24 crores. We will replicate the same playbook, which we have grown our community to almost like 2.2 million subscribers across 30 regional YT channels. So that's the overall, financial and business overview. We can now open the forum for any questions that we can take.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on your touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question comes from the line of Manish Adukia with Goldman Sachs. Please go ahead. Mr. Adukia, please go ahead with the question.
Oh, sorry. Hi, good afternoon. Thanks for taking my questions. My first question is on that K-12 foray that you discussed extensively in the opening remarks. Few questions. One, if you were to take a slightly longer term view, maybe 3 to 5 years, how should we think about the potential for how much this could add to your revenues or revenue growth? How should we think about the margin profile of the business? And is there like a upper limit in terms of how much capital you may allocate to this business beyond what you already talked about? And maybe a related question to that also is, what drove this decision? Of course, K-12 is a large segment, but we've historically talked about the large headroom for growth in your core exam categories that you operate in, whether it's in online or offline, which is also early stage. Given there is like a lot of headroom in your test prep, online and offline, why the need to foray into, let's say, K-12 school segment just yet? Your thoughts there would be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, Manish, I'll take it up. So thank you for bringing this question. Amit has briefly talked about it in his starting address. See, if you see test prep as a market, का जो TAM है वो 6 करोड़ बच्चों का at this point of time, which is growing at a steady 15% CAGR. But जो ये K-12 as a market है, ये 4 times bigger than a test prep as a market. It's a much bigger market. और अगर हम किसी भी mature economy को benchmark करें, China is a perfect example क्योंकि वहाँ के demographics इंडिया से same है. इंडिया में JEE नीट है तो वहाँ पे गाँव है. तो वहाँ पे आज के 15 साल पहले टेस्ट prep market बड़ा होता था. But currently K-12 is a bigger market there. अब K-12 market के अंदर चाइना के अंदर ऑनलाइन और ऑफलाइन दोनों प्ले हो रहे हैं. हमने भी K-12 मार्केट को एड्रेस करने के लिए 18 months before, almost 18 to 24 months before सीडिंग कर रही थी. ऑनलाइन प्लेबुक जो हमारी K-12 मार्केट को एड्रेस कर रही है, दैट इज अ क्यूरियस जूनियर प्रोडक्ट. आई थिंक इस ऑडियंस के अंदर बहुत सारे लोग होंगे जिनके छोटे बच्चे होंगे फ्रॉम ग्रेड 3 to 10. तो क्यूरियस जूनियर इज अ प्रोडक्ट यू गाइस शुड यूज इट. It's an alternate to tuition. It's an online tuition platform which enhances your outcomes in school and exams.
So Curious Junior product is growing at a very rapid rate, almost 100% improvement in terms of EBITDA and enrollment हमने किया, and we will continue to grow with the same rate in upcoming time. So that makes us the largest online tuition player as well with the brand name of Curious Junior. Similarly, हमें जो दूसरी opportunity दिखी थी वो K-12 schools management company run करने की दिखी थी. So our first initiative was 2 years before जब हमने गुरुकुलम गुड़गांव और वाराणसी के अंदर start किया. So currently our school management company operates 3 schools. One is out of Indore, another is Gurgaon, and third is Varanasi. School is a bottomless market. It's a large opportunity for us, and we have seen this opportunity from a parent side. There's a great affinity because they want to get enrolled in a test prep national brand centric school. अभी तक ये opportunity जो है बहुत ज़्यादा ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं हुई है. ये बहुत ही बड़ी मार्केट अपॉर्चुनिटी है, and we have already have a success story in Varanasi where we have turned around a brownfield school into a school full of 1,200 kids at this point of time in just 18 months of time. So and this playbook is getting mature, and this aligns with our overall mission to become a lifelong learning partner of the students. As well as अगर हम टेस्ट प्रेप की बात करें तो हम ऑलरेडी ग्रेड 3 से लेके 12 से लेके यूपीएससी तक का पढ़ाई रहे हैं. टू रन any good online or offline education business, you have to take care of teacher ratings, learning outcomes, student attendance, repeat rates. तो basic principles same ही रहते हैं. And जो K-12 schools के अंदर जो हमने 3 schools खोले हैं, we are starting 8 more schools, 4 brownfield, 4 greenfield, as well as we have done a Tender Heart Ranchi partnership where we have taken the management control of the school. So this is overall, overall scheme of things, this is not even contributing 0.5% of revenue at this point of time, but in a long run it will contribute a good amount of EBITDA. And that is and जो हम school भी start कर रहे हैं उसके अंदर एक fair amount of test prep education कर रहे हैं कि बच्चों के formative years के अंदर ही उनकी JEE और NEET की preparation हो जाए. By the time we enroll our students in grade 11, the damage is already done. उनके बेसिस इतने वीक होते हैं कि उनसे आउटकम निकालना थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है. और अगर हम देखें तो ओवरऑल स्पेशलाइज्ड प्रिपरेशन फॉर मेडिकल एंड इंजीनियरिंग एंट्रेंस की जरूरत ही तब पड़ रही है बिकॉज आवर स्कूलिंग सिस्टम हैवंट लिव्ड अप टू एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑफ दीज एग्जाम्स. So the entire coaching is outcome of bad schooling in the country. We want to fix it at a root. So that is why we have taken some baby steps in this direction. So this is and long term के अंदर आप 3 to 5 year के अंदर this will become a significant EBITDA, a noticeable significant EBITDA by FY2029-30 in upcoming years is what I can say to you.
Manish, just to add, in terms of the capital allocation, we allocated 400 crores in our school management company, probably a couple of months back. So that is the allocated capital right now for building the K-12 platform. I think what has significantly turned around for us, like Pratik mentioned, 2 things. First, the nuances around the school management which we've been able to work with the Varanasi school has given us some level of how the entire economics of school management should run. Like that has given us a little confidence. And secondly, I think what Tender Heart partnership has done is that a lot of good K-12 platforms have started reaching out to us, and they want to work with Physicswallah just in terms of the pedagogy that we bring on the table. So right now that is the allocation, but once we go through the planning cycle for next year, that is when we will probably take a refreshed view of where we are right now and the ambition, like Prateek mentioned, where we want to be in 29-30, because this is going to be a long-term story for the next, at least 4-5 years where we start building this.
So we have both the models here, Prateek here. That we have an asset-light model with the name of School Integrated Program, where we have partnership with 50 such schools, will teach almost 25,000, will generate almost 25 crores of top line through that model also. Along with that, we have a complete management control over tender heart and as well as some greenfield and brownfield K-12 schools coming up. And as I mentioned, K-12 is going to be a larger business than a test prep business down the line 5 years is what I imagine. And if you benchmark any company in China, be it New Oriental, EDU, all are listed. Their K-12 business is larger than their test prep business, and ऐसा ही हमें भी लगता है कि फिजिक्सवाला के साथ में भी down the line 5 years होगा.
Very helpful. My second question would be maybe a related question. You explained the opportunity in K-12, and when you think about it, there are a few buckets of education, which is test prep, where you have been, now you're entering K-12, and you have your own IOI as well, which is of course small right now. But would you also then consider entering formal education in undergrad and postgrad as well, or that's something which is not a part of the plan over the next 3-5 years?
See, formal education, if you see, 70% of the students which we are teaching at this point of time are 12 plus students which have already passed grade 12. So, if you see, do I have the best faculty in India who's teaching computer science? Yes, we do have. Do I have the best faculty in terms of civil engineering, in terms of mechanical engineering, in terms of, from a gate category perspective, I'm already number one player in terms of all engineering streams, producing almost back-to-back rank 1 in past 2 years consecutively. If you say, do I have the best faculty of UPSC humanities, all 19 subjects? Yes, I do have. See, UPSC as a business also has grown more than 100% in first 9 months. So, and every one in the 3 IAS and 3 IPS is being produced by us at this point of time. So, formal education के अंदर हम degrees नहीं दे रहे हैं, but फिर भी हम GATE, UPSC, CAT, CA इन सारे categories के अंदर significant number of students को पढ़ा ही रहे हैं. Formal education के अंदर the right way of entering is to start it 100% online digital university. वहाँ पे हमें gap क्या लगता है कि बच्चा कॉलेज के एग्जाम अलग दे रहा है, टेस्ट प्रेप की प्रिपरेशन अलग कर रहा है. तो जब इन दोनों चीजों को मर्ज कर दिया जाएगा तो स्टूडेंट्स की लाइफ में बहुत वैल्यू एडिशन होगा. इसके लिए हमने बहुत सारे एग्जिस्टिंग IITs, IIMs के साथ में पार्टनरशिप करके कोर्सेज निकाले हैं अंडर द ब्रांड नेम ऑफ मेधावी, एज वेल एज वी आर ट्राइंग टू set up India's first digital university. We are in talks with various authorities, and we are finding a way to create value for the students there as well.
Very clear. Just last question on, and thanks for the detailed disclosure on student breakup, etc. I noticed that, in your NET and JEE, student growth or enrollment growth has now maybe slowed down to around low single digit. Of course, other categories continue to do really, really well. Is that something that maybe we should extrapolate to other categories as well? That, as you enter categories, you see some very strong growth for the first 3-4 years, but over time, these categories saturate and then they start growing lower. So I'm just trying to think that, of course, you talked about boards as a large opportunity, but when I think about it, the interplay of these categories where I'm guessing JEE are very profitable for you, but the other ones currently early stages. So how should I think about, just the growth dynamics of these various categories and the interplay of that to profitability?
Yeah, so JEE, we have seen a great traction in terms of the southern part of the country. Their YouTube channels and enrollments are picking up very fast. But since the denominator is very high in terms of number of students, in North India and penetration is very high, so that's why the overall growth is only 3 to 4%. But if you see, there is a good amount of shift of the students from JEE to board exam as well. Earlier we never had offerings like state boards as exams as well as CBSE grade 11th and 12th. If you see the cohort of grade 11th and 12th put together, still you will see a double-digit growth, a higher double-digit teen growth for sure. And the UPSC as a category is growing at 100% revenue run rate for first 9 months. The similar trends we have seen in commerce as a category, CA as a category. So the Hindi heartland, the North India, where we can see that we have a decent amount of penetration, but the entire southern part of the country is the headroom left for our early exam categories, JEE and NEET. And all our newer exam categories are any which ways growing at a double-digit growth rate.
Very helpful. Thank you so much for taking my question. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Gaurav Malhotra with Axis. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for the opportunity. Just had a couple of questions and some follow-up on this strategy for K-12. Just wanted to get an understanding, what is the right to win here, right? Because in online, offline, we have this, to find the top of the funnel, and that is sort of helping us, gain a disproportionate advantage in the online space and to extend in offline. But this is like completely different kind of a business, right? So just wanted to get some sense on our right to win over here.
So I'll quickly answer this question. So we have students enrolled in our Vidyapeeth, which is brick and mortar physical setup, technology enabled, right from grade 8 onwards. So grade 8, 9, 10th, 11th, 12th are already being covered in existing Vidyapeeth setup. And if you see the journey of the student, they have to go to schools in the morning and coaching in the evening. So that is double workload. If you talk to any parent, they want an integrated setup. Both test prep and school education should happen at one roof. It's a great opportunity, and that explains my right to win. If I can create value for a grade 8th student, grade 9th student and 10th student in a Vidyapeeth system, I can create the similar value in terms of school environment. Second thing is, from a brand perspective, अगर आप देखते हैं तो parents, instead of sending it to a local hyperlocal school, say vis-a-vis compared to a national brand, which curriculums, pedagogy, data-driven systems, technology is giving more assurance for their kids to have the right foundation to prepare for IIT, JEE, NEET as well as UPSC and all the test prep. So it is the test prep branded school is what the playbook is. और अगर आप हमारे ऑनलाइन पेडागॉजी की बात करेंगे तो क्यूरियस जूनियर स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम ग्रेड 3, आवर ऑनलाइन मेगा बैचेस व्हिच आर अफोर्डेबल ऑनलाइन मेगा बैचेस तो हमारे ग्रेड 6 से ऑलरेडी स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं. तो वी हैव ऑल दीज करिकुलम्स इन प्लेस, पेडागॉजी इन प्लेस, टीचर ट्रेनिंग एंड टेक्नोलॉजी इन प्लेस. So I think we have all the right to win. For example, what is my competition here? My competition is a local non-tech-led school where the curriculum and the standard practices are not there. So even this is much more easier market to win and create brand is what we have seen in our initial interventions.
Got it. I think just a follow-up. So, you mentioned that in the next 4 to 5 years, you would think that, K-12 will become larger than, say, test prep, and, if you just sort of focus on the offline business, because the offline business is also sort of keep growing. So just right now there's 400 crores being allocated, but suppose, I assume, say, 1,000 students per school, right? So even to get to, like, say, 1 lakh students, it's probably 10,000, say 100 schools, right? So I'm just trying to understand how big is the potential capital allocation for this segment, say, if you were to think from a 4 to 5 year perspective, and how do we sort of think about it?
When I say K-12, it's broadly classified into schools as well as online, which is much more larger number of students. So, for example, Curious Junior में भी हम 30,000 students पढ़ा रहे हैं. School integrated program जो कि offline existing schools के अंदर चल रहा है, उसके अंदर 5,000 students and 25 crores का top line है. And the school, the Tenderheart school के अंदर 5,000 students, 5,500 students existing हैं. So this is a broader vision for the company at this point of time. What is the significance of this? See, overall 4,000 crore के top line के अंदर the contribution of this initiative is less than 1% at this point of time. If I add Curious Junior, SIP, and the existing schools put together. The playbook is the same to grow online in this segment significantly and to start a hyperlocal school. Of course, to reach to 1 lakh students, we have to have 100 and more schools in place. But at the same time, if you see the unit economics of this business, students take admission in grade 1, grade 1st, and it is there till grade 12th. So it's a great LTV business as well. At a steady state, we have seen schools making 25 to 35% margin business, and we will integrate test prep into the schools. That is a great synergy, because by doing it, we could able to charge right amount of fees. We could able to save time for the students and create value within the school premises itself. So, did I answer your question? Do you have any follow-up question on this?
No, this is good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Swapnil Pothuke with JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Hi, thanks for the opportunity. I just wanted to understand the split of your marketing spend. How much of it is happening to drive traffic on the online side, and then these new initiatives that you were talking about, the K-12 and others. How do you distribute that? And a related question to that is, like, you mentioned that you have started spreading out the investments on marketing over the entire year. Does that mean that your 4Q marketing spends this year will be significantly lower in percentage terms or absolute terms versus the previous year?
So, I'll address the first part of the question, and Amit will take the second part. So, in terms of my early exam categories, engineering entrance and medical entrance, the spends are less than 2 to 3%. It's just the awareness is spent because we already have a good position in the Hindi heartland in our early exam categories. But couple of my newer exam categories, the marketing spends is to generate awareness, is to generate top of the funnel, sign ups, and to reach to a critical number of students where you need not to spend further marketing dollars to have a top of the funnel. Then the word of mouth starts kicking in. Then students keeps on adding the new students. So to answer your question, the spend in the early exam category is 2 to 3%, and the newer exam category is slightly more. As well as the spend is going in the southern part of country to generate awareness, to have enrollments. And in terms of leverage coming out, Amit will take it up.
So I think, Swapnil, just 2 points I think Pratik had mentioned and summarized very well. Our marketing spends, if you look at from any other education company, are almost like 20-25% of any other player who is in the online business. I think the reason why our spends, and we typically don't call them marketing spends, I think these are more cost of distribution for us, because our playbook is largely community-led playbook. So I think, like we mentioned right at the start of the call, is that you create communities on social media, on YouTube, start putting in content out there, then there is traction that happens there. Students start appreciating the content being put out there, because these are like online teachers who are really good at their subject matter knowledge. Student comes onto the app, still has the ability to consume free content, and then depending on all the value adds that he sees in terms of buying a batch, which is our core product, he ends up buying a batch, and that is how the entire monetization channel works for us. So in terms of the point that earlier you were making earlier, this is the big chunk of our this thing. The point I was earlier making in terms of leverage, if our last year marketing spend was 276 crores, which was roughly 9.6% of the last year revenue. The 9 months number for this year is 266 crores, which is roughly 8.9%, and the corresponding number for this 9 months last year was 183 crores. But if you look at it, the point I was making in terms of marketing spend lower for us, this was in terms of the marketing spend as compared to last quarter. On a full year basis, we are anticipating that we will significantly be lower than the 9.6% that we spent last year. Two reasons for it. Like I said, I think the incremental spends that we did in the first Q1 and Q2, that actually gave us a higher ROI. And the reason why the marketing spends will not be lower this quarter than as compared to the Q3 of this year is largely because of the Vishwas Divas and the student acquisition that starts happening for the next academic session. But what we believe, anything between 8.5% is where we will land the full year marketing spend for this.
Which is significantly lower than 9.6% of the last year. Can we take to the next question?
Yep. Mr. Paduke, are you done with the question? We have no response from the line of Mr. Paduke. We'll move to the next. The next question comes from the line of Pratyush Kamal with Incred Equities. Please go ahead.
Hey, hi Amit and Prateek. Congratulations on the good set of numbers post. There are few things which is on my mind when I saw that you are getting into the acquisition of this school. So definitely we have seen a lot of private equity deals happening in the last couple of years in the schools. But again, the question comes is that which type of schools are you actually catering to? Are you getting into the premium schools, or you are getting into the market of economy or sub-economy schools? That is the one question, because of, again, the margins, the EBITDA margin, the PAT margin totally, definitely is relevant and gets impacted on the kind of schools you are operating in. And second question is regarding, what kind of margins, etc., which you see coming out from these schools, and do you also see that these schools would be a GTM for the add-on services which you would be providing in terms of, online test, giving the online test prep, if the coaching or something like that for IIT or for NEET, etc., which you have already talked about. So is these schools not just an offline center for gathering new people, for gathering or catering new K-12 students, but is it also a go-to-market strategy for you in terms of getting the access of these people and getting the access of these students and getting them enrolled in your test prep division in the online mode? So how do you see the plan coming up and ramping up?
Yeah, I'll in the interest of time, I'll quickly answer the question. Your first part is the price point for the students. So anywhere between 70,000 rupees as annual fees to 1.5 lakh rupees, depends on the metro, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities. Essentially, these are the CBSE schools, is what the price point is. And the margin can vary in between 20 to 40%, depends whether you own the property or it's a lease property. And coming back to the synergy part, which is very important. See, a school-going kid, so the positioning is above average or premium in between. And the synergy between test prep and school is very organic. Grade 9th is the year where the students start preparing for their medical and engineering entrance exam. And grade 11, they become quite serious and either they opt out of the schooling, opt for a dummy schooling system, or they continue to go to school in the morning time and stretch for their specialized preparation in the second half of the day. So existing school ecosystem kids will get benefited with our test prep courses. We can prepone their decisions. For example, a commerce kid who's going in 11th grade can start his CA preparation journey in grade 11th itself. For a UPSC aspirant, the real foundation we can start building from grade 11th onwards, grade 9th onwards only. So it is a test prep integration. The question whether it will fuel our existing Vidyapeeth center, partially yes. But if you see Ranchi as a city where we have done tender heart, we have number 1 in offline. Now we are number 1 in schooling. So that is a number 1 position in terms of one city, which is a state capital, in terms of coaching as well, in terms of school prep. That gives you a lot of cross synergy and strength. So yeah, there is definitely a great synergy with existing Vidyapeeth as an ecosystem.
Got it. And when you say that margins would be 18 to 40%, definitely I totally understand that
Mr. Kamal, sorry for interrupting. Your voice is breaking. Mr. Kamal, your voice is breaking. Hello?
I'm audible now.
Oh, no, it's still breaking. Can you come a little closer to the mic and speak?
Hello?
Hello? We've lost the line of Mr. Kamal. We'll move to the next. That is Mr. Shivam from Nilbang Equities. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. My first question is that in the last Concall you mentioned that you will be disclosing EBITDA separately for offline and online from the next financial year. So this school thing that is coming up, so ये भी offline में included होगा या इसका भी separately होगा? And greenfield अगर आप समझा देंगे that what is greenfield meant here? Are we going to be capex heavy here? So कैसे रहेगा? Kindly वो बता दीजिए.
तो सर ऑनलाइन और ऑफलाइन की सेगमेंटल रिपोर्टिंग हम 1st of April से करेंगे और स्कूल विल नॉट बी अ पार्ट ऑफ आवर ऑफलाइन बिजनेस. इट विल बी पार्ट ऑफ आवर अदर्स बिजनेस एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. एंड जो मैंने ग्रीनफील्ड बताया, ऐसी 4 स्कूल्स हो रही है. इसके अंदर लैंड एंड प्रॉपर्टी इज अ बिल्ड टू सूट मॉडल वेयर ओनर इज कंस्ट्रक्टिंग द स्कूल एज पर आवर नीड and we are leasing out these properties for 9 years and there are 4 such schools will be coming and it's completely asset light. And that too, for the next financial year, it will be a very small portion of our overall bottom line and top line.
Thank you. Mr. Shivam, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Please restrict yourself to one question per participant. The next question comes from the line of Vitesh Iyer with the Rich Capital. Please go ahead.
थैंक यू सर. मेरा जो क्वेश्चन है वो आपके एआई कैपेबिलिटीज पे है कि सबसे पहले तो आपका जो RFSI एंड एआई कैपेबिलिटीज हैं वो बाकी प्लेयर्स से कैसे डिफरेंट हैं, एंड इसके फॉलोअप होगा कि जो जैसे जेमिनी है, ओपनएआई है, दे आर कमिंग इनटू एजुकेशन, सो हाउ कॉन्फिडेंट आर यू दैट यू विल बी एबल टू आउटपरफॉर्म देयर मॉडल्स व्हेन इट कम्स टू एजुकेशन?
One thing which makes us very different is कि हमने जो जितने भी AI टूल्स बनाए हैं, बीट AI ग्रुप, AI ग्रेडर, ये सारे के सारे टूल्स आर कम्प्लीटली डिजाइन फॉर इंडियन टेस्ट प्रेप किड्स और इट इज कम्प्लीटली डिजाइन बाय आवर ओन इन हाउस प्रोप्राइटरी डेटा. जो मिलियंस ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स डेली आ रहे हैं, जो वो लाखों सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, जो उनके डाउट्स हैं एज वेल एज जो उनके लर्निंग बिहेवियर और पैटर्न से जो डेटा जनरेट होता है, उसके उन सारे बिहेवियर्स और डेटा पॉइंट से हमने फाइन ट्यून और एक रैग लेयर इम्प्लीमेंट की है. एज वेल एज अगर आप देखेंगे तो नाउ AI इज बिकमिंग एन इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स लाइफ साइकिल. AI ने लर्निंग को हाइपर पर्सनलाइज कर दिया है. बच्चों की लाइफ के अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा वैल्यू एडिशन हुआ है, as well as टीचर्स की लाइफ में भी ग्रेट वैल्यू एडिशन हुआ है with the help of AI. Teachers are now more efficient. AI is designing PPTs, AI is designing question paper, AI is evaluating answer sheets of the kids. तो मैं टीचर्स की लाइफ साइकिल के अंदर भी AI को बहुत खूबसूरती से इंटीग्रेट किया है. Quickly on your point on Gemini and other folks coming in education, see, education is a very niche use case. A guru cannot go wrong. So अगर आप हमारे मॉडल्स की एक्यूरेसी देखेंगे तो it is better than Gemini and the existing GPT because it is it operates on a RAG layer which is fine-tuned layer on top of these large language models. That gives us a great opportunity. हमने हमारे खुद के स्मॉल लैंग्वेज मॉडल भी लॉन्च किए हैं आर्यभट्टा, एज वेल एज कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियरेंस के लिए एक और स्मॉल लैंग्वेज मॉडल आ रहा है. इन सारे मॉडल्स की कॉस्ट जो है वो जेमिनाई और जीपीटी से 1/10 है. तो वी आर अमंग द टॉप प्लेयर्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ एआई इन एजुकेशन एंड वी कंटिन्यू टू बी बुलिश about it, and it, like, you know, the way the ecosystem is developing, we see this as a great opportunity.
Thank you. Mr. Iyer, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Ayushi with Earthnity Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello. Hi, team. I just had two questions around it. So with the recent incorporation of a hostel services entity, how do you intend to integrate and scale it across your existing student ecosystem? And second question being, PW Talks caters to a separate target system. How large do you believe the opportunities for PW Talks, as there are already many large players doing it?
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'll quickly answer both the questions. So about the hostel entity, this is designed to integrate a hostel business of our subsidiary Xylem, which was fragmentedly run in Trivandrum, as well as we have a very small student housing opportunity at various parts of the country. So that's why we thought that we will integrate the entire housing business, which is very small, which is again less than 1% at this point of time, into an independent entity. And this, we don't have any aggressive plans to grow that business. That is just to facilitate couple of students and parents need, and this will be in some of the hot pockets like Patna, like Trivandrum in India. The second, which is very good question about PW Talk. See, हमारी जो ब्रांड है वो हिंदी हार्टलैंड में बहुत स्ट्रांग है, और वहाँ पर एक कॉमन प्रॉब्लम बच्चों की हमको दिखाई देती है कि इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग स्किल्स, स्पेशली गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम्स, स्पेशली जो हमारे यूपीएससी एग्जाम, गेट एग्जाम के बाद में जो बच्चे अपने प्रोफेशनल कैरियर के लिए जाते हैं तो उनको इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग के अंदर बहुत सारी हर्डल्स आती है. तो उसके लिए हमने PW टॉक, जो कि कम्प्लीटली असेट लाइट टेक प्रोडक्ट है, जिसके अंदर आप एक एआई एजेंट से बात करते करते और PW के रिकॉर्डेड लेसन्स, बाइट साइज लर्निंग के लेसन्स को देखते देखते आप इंग्लिश सीख जाते हैं. And this initiative also is an 18-month-old initiative. We haven't talked about a lot of these initiatives in our DRHP, but इस साल के एंड तक ये initiative $1 million रन रेट के ARR के ऊपर आ जाएगा. और इसका जो मोनेटाइजेशन है वो भी हमने हमारी ब्यूटीफुली स्टूडेंट की जर्नी के अंदर, ऐप के अंदर हमने इंटीग्रेट कर रखा है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जब आप ब्लिंकिट पे या फिर जेप्टो के ऊपर आप कुछ परचेज करने जाते हैं, यू गेट टू सी frequently bought together items and you add those items in the cart. इसी तरीके से अगर बच्चा गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम की प्रिपरेशन कर रहा है और वो कोई बैग को परचेज करने जा रहा है तो वो जो है इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग कोर्स को भी इसके साथ में ऐड कर सकता है. एज वेल एज हमने डिजिटल मार्केटिंग एफर्ट भी इसके ऊपर डाल करके टॉप ऑफ द फनल जो हमारा यूट्यूब इकोसिस्टम है उसको भी लेवरेज करेंगे. बट दिस इज असिस्टेड लर्निंग एनवायरमेंट. And if you see the biggest company of the world in education at this point of time, जो कि Duolingo है, और इंडिया के अंदर मैं देखता हूँ कि it's a large opportunity because I am in a Hindi heartland. So it's with a very small team of 10 people with a fraction of few lakh rupees of investment in content हमने ये create किया, और मतलब almost annual run rate $1 million इस ईयर के एंड तक आ जाएगी. a happy first 10,000 students हमने इसमें सर्व किए. तो we do see this is a great opportunity, and especially after AI play के बाद में मतलब like अंग्रेजी सीखने का सिर्फ एक ही तरीका है कि आपको इंग्लिश बोलनी पड़ेगी. I was a Hindi medium student, but my first job was in Chennai. तो जब वहाँ पे ना किसी को हिंदी आती थी ना मुझे इंग्लिश आती थी, so that's how I learned English. And we have benchmarked global standards. PW Talk का एप्लीकेशन आप लोग भी यूज करें, आपके डोमेस्टिक हेल्प को भी दें. एंड वी हैव सीन कि 3 से 6 महीने के डेडिकेटेड एफर्ट के बाद में पीपल के लोगों के स्पोकन इंग्लिश के एफर्ट्स जो हैं एक्चुअली आउटकम्स के अंदर ट्रांसलेट हो रहे हैं. ऑल्दो वी आर बुलिश अबाउट इट, बट स्टिल इट्स very small percentage of revenue at this point of time. But if I see globally, Speak.ai is a unicorn company which helps Spanish as well as Korean people to talk in English, as well as Duolingo is another example. So it's a large opportunity in long run.
Thank you. Ms. Aishi, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Yashika Pancholi with Centrum. Please go ahead.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi Prateek. Hi Amit. Hi Ankit. Congratulations. The results are fantastic. Immense potential in the company. It's great. I just want to hear a little bit about going forward in the next 5 years, of 5 to 7 years. In the K-12, what are we looking at as far as revenue share is concerned? I know you cannot give a definite number, but even a conservative ballpark would be very helpful.
Yeah. So, see, K-12 is a large possibility. It's a large vision for the company, and it is growing at a very rapid rate in terms of Curious Junior, in terms of our school integrated programs, as well as brick and mortar schools. But the right, if you see China as a benchmark, 40% of the top line comes from K-12 and 30% from their test prep business. So K-12 will become larger than test prep is what we anticipate down the line 7 years, because that growth is aligned with the domestic consumption story of the country, and we do see a great value addition in terms of student empowering in these formative years. I don't have a number which will happen 7 years down the line, but the early trend suggests that it is going in a very right direction.
Thank you. Ms. Pancholi, please return the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Divakar Shukla with Amay Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi team, congratulations on amazing results. So my question to you is, are you planning, what is the roadmap for the M&A piece of PW? Are you planning to do any M&As outside India as well? And the second part to the question is, are you planning to do M&As in the online space only, like you just did in Sarthi, or do you intend to do it in the offline space as well?
See, consolidation is one of our major thesis why we listed and raised good primary capital. In terms of online, offline, that's not how I look at these businesses. एक अच्छे एजुकेशन बिजनेसेस की क्वालिटी होती है कि बच्चों की अटेंडेंस क्या है, आउटकम्स क्या है, ओवरऑल स्टूडेंट का एनपीएस क्या है. तो इन सारी चीजों को देख करके एमएनए किया जाता है. आउटसाइड इंडिया द आंसर इज सिंपल नो. अभी हम कोई भी एसेट आउटसाइड इंडिया नहीं वैल्यूएट कर रहे हैं, ना ही एक्वायर करने वाले हैं. वी डोंट हैव बैंडविड्थ टू गो आउटसाइड इंडिया एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. In terms of within India, yes, we are evaluating both offline and online assets, and we will announce a couple of M&As in the next 2 quarters as well. But the thesis here is the synergies with the group. ऐसी कोई एग्जाम कैटेगरीज जो हमारे टारगेट ऑडियंस में नहीं है, जो हम नहीं कर सकते, और वहां पर किसी ने एक अच्छा बिजनेस बनाया है जिसमें अच्छा इबदा है. That is another core thesis of the company is कि generally acquire profitable entities, and the range of the multiple we give it to these companies is anywhere between 8 to 12. And we believe in an earn-out structure where we don't take one-shot majority. We take, anywhere between 25 to 50% equity as the first go, and a 3 to 4 year of integration and earn-out structure for the founder. The Sarthi is the right example, as you mentioned, the very similar playbook where we want founders to run the company and transition the brand with us for the upcoming 3-4 years. But we are in talks with a couple of good domestic offline players, as well as we are in talks with some of pure online players like Sarthi at this point of time.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. For more questions, reach out directly to Physicswallah management team. I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you everyone for joining the earnings call today. I think the number of questions that came on the K12 platform also re-emphasizes the fact that we are thinking in the right direction. Also, while we talked about K12, a significant portion of our revenues still come from test prep. We grew almost like 97% CAGR for the last 2 years, and we will, for a full year guidance, we will grow in the range of 32 to probably 35% this year, with strong growth coming in both in the online as well as offline, and our commitment to continue to grow in both these segments. With this, thank you again, and we look forward to you all joining in the next earnings call. Thanks.
Thank you. On behalf of Physicswallah Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your line.
If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe to Concall India for latest upcoming Concall.